Have you ever been insulted so subtly that it didn't feel like an attack until it sank in hours later, right when you were brushing your teeth or holding your kid's hand? That moment when someone tries to shrink you with a smile and you have a choice, lash back or rise higher. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Michelle LaVaughn Robinson Obama didn't just live that line, she carved it into history. Because when they went low, she went high. And that wasn't political branding, that was a Stoic Manifesto. In 2016, during one of the most emotionally charged presidential campaigns in American history, Michelle Obama took the stage at the Democratic National Convention. The country was raw, divided, angry. Personal attacks on her family had been circulating for years. She'd been called masculine, accused of hating America, had her looks mocked, her patriotism questioned. You might think she'd finally had enough, that she'd fire back, gloves off. But what she said instead shook millions. When they go low, we go high. Not a slogan, not a soundbite, a philosophy rooted in restraint, virtue, and clarity. It was the living application of what Seneca described in Letters from a Stoic. It is the power of a great mind to be unmoved by insult. Michelle didn't just ignore the noise, she used it as fuel. She knew the distinction between what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, and what we can't, how others choose to behave. That's the dichotomy of control, the backbone of Stoicism, and the hidden force behind Michelle's calm amidst the storm. But let me take you further back, before the spotlight, before the White House. Michelle grew up in a cramped apartment in Chicago's South Side. Her father, Fraser Robinson, suffered from multiple sclerosis but never missed a day of work. Her mother, Marion, stretched a modest paycheck to build a foundation of dignity and education. Michelle would study by the window, absorbing the steady rhythm of discipline and perseverance. Not dreams of fame, but of impact. She understood from a young age the world would not always be fair. But you don't answer unfairness with noise. You answer with excellence. That seed, planted in resilience, bloomed into a woman who learned to pause before reacting, to choose her words with purpose. That pause, it's not weakness, it's power. Ryan Holiday writes in Stillness is the Key, stillness is not about inactivity, but clarity. Michelle Obama's stillness in moments of public firestorm was a stoic stillness, not passive, precise, intentional, rooted in the belief that virtue, not vengeance, is the highest response. Let's break down what she taught us without ever quoting Marcus Aurelius or Epictetus. First, she showed us that dignity is a muscle you train. In moments when most of us would feel the urge to clap back, defend, prove our worth, she chose silence laced with substance. That's not detachment, that's discernment. Second, she reframed adversity. In her memoir, Becoming, she writes about being one of the few Black students at Princeton, constantly underestimated, constantly watched. The pain was real, but so was the lesson. I decided I wasn't going to play the game. I was going to rise above it. That's amor fati, love of fate. She didn't just endure difficulty, she used it. She grew from it. Third, she cultivated strength in vulnerability. Many forget that Michelle Obama publicly spoke about miscarriage, IVF, and motherhood. Not as weakness, but as a way to connect, to tell other women, your pain does not disqualify you. It dignifies you. As Viktor Frankl wrote in Man's Search for Meaning, in some ways, suffering ceases to be suffering at the moment it finds meaning. Michelle's transparency turned silence into solidarity, shame into strength. She also lived the core Stoic teaching that our value isn't in what we say about ourselves, it's in what we embody. Whether hosting global leaders or hugging children at local schools, her presence was consistent, grounded. She never wore a mask to survive the public. She simply deepened her roots. That is the ultimate Stoic move, to be the same person in solitude and in the spotlight. Now let's be honest, going high sounds poetic, but it's brutal in practice. It means biting your tongue when you're boiling inside. It means refusing to let your ego drive the car. It means letting someone else take the last word while you take the higher ground. But make no mistake, that ground is not weakness. It is forged in fire. It's the same ground that Marcus Aurelius stood on when he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." So what does that mean for you? Sitting there, maybe dealing with your own version of being attacked, underestimated, sidelined. It means you're not powerless. It means you can choose to rise. You can choose to craft your own Stoic Manifesto, not in marble or headlines, but in how you walk into the next room, how you reply to the next insult, how you carry yourself when no one is looking. Michelle LaVaughn Robinson Obama didn't just model strength, she modeled sovereignty, the kind that doesn't yell for attention, but commands respect in silence. She became a living embodiment of what Epictetus meant when he said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." So here's your challenge. The next time someone goes low, anyone, in any setting, don't flinch, don't explain, don't defend. Simply rise and let your composure do the talking. Because in a world that thrives on noise, grace is a revolution, and your stillness might just be the most radical thing you ever do.